Hello and welcome to Northeast today's live session with me, Debushree Adhikari. Our guest for the evening is a very special person. He is none other than Manoj Kumar Das, the Managing Director of Northeast Regional Agriculture Marketing Corporation Limited, with over 30 years of experience in bureaucracy and social work, as well as many top administrative positions. So without further ado, let's welcome our guest of the evening. Hello, sir. Welcome to Northeast today's live session. We are very pleased to have you on our show, sir.
Thank you for inviting me to your special session, and I welcome all the viewers of Northeast today.
Thank you, sir. So, you have had such a long journey of over 33 years of work experience, and as a small tribute to your work, we have made a small video on your journey. Would you like to see that first, and then we can head on with the question and answers?
Yeah, that'll be a good kickstart. You can go ahead.
Oh, okay, sir. Let's watch the video first.
Manoj Kumar Das is the Managing Director of Northeastern Regional Agricultural Marketing Corporation Limited. Mr. Das completed his graduation in production engineering from Saurashtra University and MBA from Punjab University. He is also concurrently head and Northeastern Development Finance Corporation Limited, a former director of Indian Institute of Entrepreneurship. He is a member of high-level committee on implementation of new education policy, Assam. He is also a part of numerous socio-cultural organizations in Assam. NERAMAC was set up to support farmers or producers of Northeast getting remunerative prices for their produce and thereby bridge the gap between the farmers and market, and also to enhance the agricultural procurement, processing and marketing infrastructure of the Northeastern region of India. Manoj Kumar Das has wide range of experience in top leadership positions, administration, networking, government affairs, governance, entrepreneurship development, etc., to name a few. A hardcore social entrepreneur, he takes pride in the ancient civilization of India and its pluralism, diversity, wisdom, values, and customs.
That was such a wonderful journey you had there, sir. It's so nice that you have carried on work in bureaucracy, in social work, in entrepreneurship. So, like, how did you start?
I started after my graduation and post-graduation MBA way back in '85. I started as a plant engineer in Hero Honda Motors. But before that, during my engineering, production engineering, we had 1 year sandwich pattern training. So in the summers and the last semester, about 1 year in plant training I had. Then I worked in like Voltas Limited, then there was an Ashok manufacturing company, then Larsen & Toubro. Whole last semester I spent there in Bombay. Then after MBA, I joined Hero Honda Motors. It was the first joint venture with the Japanese motorcycle manufacturer Honda and Hero Group. So I was actually plant engineer. Then I was trained in Suzuka factory of Honda in 1985. Then 2 years I spent there, and we actually rolled out the first bikes. Like we were at that time driving Honda bikes actually. 20 bikes were brought in as samples, and we were few lucky employees to own them, and we used to flaunt and drive around. So that way it started, and it was very good going. Then something happened to me. I mean, I was selected by government of Assam. That time, AGP government came, young government, so they wanted young entrepreneurs to lead the industrialization in Assam. So they selected 15 entrepreneurs under Operation Udyog scheme. We were given 2 crores loan each. Then all other support. And I left my job. I thought I was very young that time. I was about 23 year old, I think,
Okay.
20, 24. So I left job, came here, started. It was a 3 years journey, and so finally it didn't work out. So I thought I must exit because it was heavy loan burden, and government was very kind to waive off whatever loan I have taken. So then
Okay.
I joined Government of Assam as management officer. 6 months. Then I joined Dinlai, working in government that time. Then I joined Department of Science and Technology, stayed in Simla, got married in 1990, had our first child in 91. So that was the only good thing I did in my life, I think. Married on time.
That's really sweet.
Then
And
after we shifted to Delhi, and then I worked in government sector, private sector for about 93, 7 years. Then I joined
oh,
NEDFi. It was a new organization coming up, so the chairman recruited me. He said, "You work for a region." But I was
oh,
posted in Delhi for about 15 years.
okay, long
In
time.
2012, I was transferred to Guwahati head
Hmm.
office.
Okay.
In between, I really worked for a society. Actually, there was Assam in Delhi, and since I studied outside Assam, I miss my society very much, community. So I worked for the community. Then I was instrumental in finishing one cultural complex, Sankati Bhavan in Delhi, Srimanta Sankati Bhavan,
Yeah.
and did quite a few very big events and raised about more than a crore through events and other donations and completed. And since I was an engineer, so it was, I mean, quite what I would say, practical for me to finish a project on time and plan and execute things. Then after that, once I came to Guwahati, then I was, I had to, my family was in Delhi, so I had to go and all. I started applying jobs here and there. Then I was selected in Indian Institute of Entrepreneurship as director. There I spent about 3.5 years, and it was a sick organization at that time. I actually
Okay.
just like there I joined, but once I went inside, then I thought I must make a mark, and I revived that organization. And when I joined, they had about 3 crore corpus, and when I left, I increased about 33 crores. Then after that, again, the NERAMAC was being revived, and I was given the charge, additional charge under the ministry. And
Okay.
so currently, I'm heading it for last about 2 years, and I'm also concurrently working with NETFi. That is my parent organization. And Dynamic also, I got the uh, honor of reviving it. And government has
Okay.
recently sanctioned the one revival package, ministry cabinet, 77.45 crore. Then I took the charge during COVID time, and I started the Neramax complex at 6 Mile. It's a very big project
Okay.
of 77,000 square feet complex. So already about we have achieved physical progress of more than 60%. Then Dynamic is I am spearheading the revival of Dynamic, and concurrently I'm
Okay.
heading advisory consultancy division of NETFi. And when I took charge of this division, it was about turnover 18 lakh. Now it is more than 22 crores. It's
Wow.
so I am a little, I don't know, lucky sometimes and
Yeah.
workaholic. Not workaholic. I think I'm a smart worker. I also combine work-life balance, family balance, everything, work, fun, life balance. That's me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Really nice. And like you said, you helped raise the funds for Srimanta Shankar Dev Bhavan in New Delhi, and then you
Yes.
also helped get Majuli World Heritage status, and not just that, you also helped make Hotrio classical dance. So, like, how was the experience? You helped Assam get the recognition that it deserves so much in national platform. So, how was it?
Yeah, Sankar Bhavan, that was like my job because I was a general secretary and I was lucky to get continuous 3 tenures, 6 years. And the first thing I won by only one vote, and that continued because I could win a flash election by one vote. Nobody dared to challenge me after that, and that 6 years seat really helped me. And I have actually my strength is I became obsessed with if I take up a job. So that obsession helps me carry through, and I keep thinking 24 hours about that and how to solve it. Then same time actually I worked as secretary to one MP from Assam, Dr. Arun
Okay.
Sharma. He was a very successful MP, and I was one of his right hand men. So that time we uh, tried to do a lot of projects for Assam, like Bogibeel Bridge and that Subansiri Dam. Then this uh, classical dance status to Hotriya dance. And that time,
Yes.
Bhupenda was the chairman of Sangeet Academy, but we gave the support and we campaigned, politically for its culmination of that. And it was actually a lot of hard work we had to do and do a lot of campaigning, political campaigning, social, political, and all. And that Dr. Arun Sharma was also a very powerful MP, and there are quite a few stories how he got it done. Then Majuli
Yeah.
Island Protection Development Council, I had my friend Sanjay Ghosh. I remember him today on this occasion. We are very good friends. Then it was his actually idea, but we made that dossier, and then we could get grant from Archaeological Survey of India. Then but somehow it's not happening till date, that World Heritage Site status, because of various reasons, lack of political will or some other things. But I think someday it will be. But then, nonetheless, Majuli got its due recognition,
Yes.
and although it didn't get a status, but it got really in the tourist map or cultural map, spiritual map, tourism map, it got its due place, and now I think everyone knows about Majuli. And so that was I was the first project director of Majuli Island Protection and Development Council. It was formed by Professor Y.K. Alak. He was the Minister of Program and Planning and Implementation Government of India, and Dr. Arun Sharma was the chairman, and I was the project director, and yeah, so that's it.
Yes, of course, Majuli is like a very famous tourist destination now, and almost everybody from the country and outside of the country knows about the river island. And thanks to you and your work, and you have also campaigned for the mitigation of flood caused by the Brahmaputra. And so, could you tell us about that?
See, Brahmaputra is the only male river in the world, and I alone cannot do it. But I think we tried to do the campaign through political, because I was with an MP, and we had a group of people. AGP was in power at that time, and I was also not in government service that time. So we try to do whatever we can do for mitigation of floods in Brahmaputra. But I always believe that controlling floods in Brahmaputra is not so easy, because if you remember, we have a history of cyclic devastating earthquakes happening in the
Yes, sir.
region. And last two great earthquakes were in 1897 Shillong earthquake. That was I think 8.4 Richter, and whole Shillong plateau, Meghalaya plateau, uh, rose by 30, more than 30 to 50 feet. And you imagine, suppose something just suddenly rises 30, 40 feet, nothing man-made can actually exist. So same thing happened in
Right.
1950, 15 August, Great Assam earthquake. And that was,
Yeah.
I think, more than 8.7 Richter. And whole, the valley system got really disrupted. And before that, uh, ocean-going ships used to go up to Sodia port, and we had series of ports along the way. Sodia, then Teklifuta, then Pandu, and all these. So they used to ferry the logs, then tea, then oil from Assam oil. Digboi refinery and take all over the world. And there was Assam Bengal Railways and Trading Company. And these are all history. Assam is actually a very old place for industry. And first industry was registered in, I think, 1838. Assam Bengal, Assam and Railways Trading Company, I think. Some company also, some company that's now owned by, I think now, Jay Mehta. So we had this old tradition, but during mm, independence, everything got disrupted in 1947 again. So we have the cyclic misfortunes have happening here, and we have to suffer from time to time. And you were talking about the flood mitigation. That's so that river that got disrupted in 1950, we had to settle down. Heavy siltation, the bed has become shallow, and in many places, like I come from Dhemaji, I was born there. In our
Yeah.
place, the paddy fields are sometimes at a higher elevation than the, I mean, river bed is at a higher elevation than the nearby paddy fields. So water has no channel, and just gets spilled here and there. So I always advocated that our national embankment policy has to be reviewed, and maybe we have to classify our amendments called Mathauri here into three categories, like vital, essential, desirable. The vital dikes like Brahmaputra dike at Dibrugarh, it has to be there. Then some are desirable, but essentials may be removed, and flood may be allowed to come and go. In that case, it will not be devastating. And like I am from a flood affected area. I know we know how to live with flood. So I think that
Yes.
time we should be given some flood allowance for maybe 4 months. If you give 20,000 per family for 4 months, so they will be able to sustain that period. And I think there won't be devastating floods. There may be short-term measure, but in long term, we'll have to treat the river and channelize it. Maybe we build a huge dam on both sides with the soil there to escape it from the riverbed, and so it has to be a very big master plan, and we have to take help of maybe World Bank and other funding organizations, and bring maybe all the dredging capacity that is available in the world to dredge the river. So it has to be planned in a long way. And that, I think that time we can have river, run of the river power plant project, and on the both sides we can have Brahmaputra industry corridor, that land that will be reclaiming, it will be more than 1.5 million hectare once we calculate it with help of Google Map and other things. So 1.5 billion hectare can be reclaimed, and that can become, uh, like your infrastructure. We can build infrastructure on the education, entertainment, uh, sports, and we can have connecting roads from maybe Dhubri to Sadia on the, on North Bank, South Bank, and all these. Anyway, now I think we have a lot of infrastructure project going on, four laning up to this side up to Holongi and Gokpur, and going down the another bridge coming up. And so I see a lot of development coming up now. But flood, yeah, we'll have to see. Thank you.
And also, sir, you have held so many top leadership positions, social entrepreneurship, volunteer organization, and currently you are also the managing director of NERAMAC. So, could you tell us like about your duties and what NERAMAC's aim and objective is?
Yeah, first I have to tell about my stint in Indian Institute of Entrepreneurship. So that institute is under the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. So I was director for 3.5 years. And during that time, just a second. During that time, we become implementing agency for many flagship projects like Scooty scheme, a scheme of fund for upgradation of traditional industries, that is from MSME. Then we also did a project from uh, AFD France, that is Aid Français de Development. So that was 128 villages we have to give sustainable livelihood. Then
Yeah.
about 55 clusters were formed during my time. Then there was another scheme called Aspire. a scheme of fund for innovation and rural entrepreneurship. So under that, I built one dairy center in Sibsagar, Gorisagar, then
Hmm.
food processing center in Lalmati, where I is there, and so and I promoted a lot of entrepreneurship and trained about 18,000 youths in skill development because we are under later we came under skill development ministry. So with that background, I joined NERAMAC, and NERAMAC is now on the path of revival. And so here we try to link up the agri sector producers. Then we are also implementing NC for formation of farmer producer organizations,
Hmm.
which is basically companies formed by the farmers. And last year we got target of 55 FPOs to be formed. And
Hmm.
Government of India is going to form about 10,000 FPOs in the country. So in Northeast,
Hmm.
about 1,000 FPOs will be formed. So here we are leading from the front, then trying to link up. Then also I'm trying to revive our plants. We had 4 plants, one ginger processing plant in Banihat. Then in Nalkata we have one pineapple processing plant. Then Tripura we have one cashew nut processing plant. Then Mankasa and cashew nut. These are all like actually now like RUs. And under PPP mode I'm trying to revive it. So this
Oh.
entrepreneurship development and all these are going hand to hand. And
Hmm.
so social entrepreneurship is another that is actually I'm myself a social entrepreneur.
Hmm.
And post retirement, I plan to start a mentorship program, which is lacking in the state. Even in the country, we don't have a good mentoring organization. So I think
Okay.
that's on my card to support youths, startups, and young entrepreneurs to become
Hmm.
successful in life. That's my
That
post retirement plan.
that's really nice, sir. That you have all your plans set up, and through as I was doing my research on your work and everything, we came across several pictures of yours that we'll be showing throughout this interview, and you just have to tell us like what was happening around this picture. So for our next question, we have one such picture I'd like to show you. Could you tell us about this? I can see Mr. Atul Bora on the screen, and you are surrounded by reporters, of course. So, like, what was happening here?
Okay, here actually we
Hmm.
have exported maize from Assam to
Okay.
Bangladesh. That was on, I think, 3rd of August, 3rd August this year. And that day, Atul Bora Dangoria, he flagged off the consignment. We
Hmm.
sent 2 trucks with 50 tons. And Bangladesh consumes about 4.3 million ton of maize for
Nice.
feeding industry and other things. And
Okay.
they produce about 1.5 million from in the country and imports uh, another about 1. Uh, about I think half a million ton like that. But then they have a requirement about 2.3 million ton, and they are looking at Northeast. And if we can grow good quality and sell to them, they will be very happy to receive it. And
Hmm.
it takes only 6 hours to send the material from Assam to Bangladesh through Sutarkandi,
Hmm.
or maybe later on through Dauki land custom station.
Hmm.
And so I think our farmers can benefit from there. And this is in this photograph we are addressing and trying to tell the farmers and other stakeholders that this
Hmm.
is one area they can look at seriously, and we are there to help them.
And sir, it's so wonderful that we are exporting this much products from our nation to abroad. Like, so shouldn't we like focus more on export than on import?
Oh, actually, we have to export is a really very difficult proposition, I must say, because you have to
Okay.
meet so many quality standards, then so much of testing and other things. Even then, after that, even payment is also sometimes a concern.
Hmm.
Sometimes a lot of frauds also happen, like LC, letter of credit. These are raised in some bank. Some bank cannot be traced. But in that case, what we are trying to do here is we take the money in advance,
Okay.
and export. Then sometimes in Assam we have the problem of humidity, and all these agricultural commodities they catch fungus very very quickly, and so we have to maintain the dryness like for below 14%. Then broke it should not be broken, and our farmers are also sometimes not very honest. So they like one or two bags will be good, and inside it won't be so good. So maybe there is the danger of whole consignment getting rejected. So
Yeah.
it's a little difficult. But then export, yeah, we have to balance with export and import. And if we export, then we can earn foreign currency for the country, which is also very very uh, good for our economy. And we can. I mean, it all depends actually. Our Indian local market is so big. So ultimately, we have to give good remuneration to our farmers. And our aim is to double farmers' income by 2022. That is the aim of the Prime Minister. We all keep hearing about it. So we all are
Yeah.
contributing to it.
And also, so like a few seconds ago, we could see another picture of NERAMAC on the screen. Like this is the picture I'm talking about. Like, could you tell us about this as well?
Oh, this was, I think, this is last year. Agri Hoti show was organized in the month of January in Bokakhat.
Okay.
And this was Neramac stall. And on the backdrop, we are showing the photographs of GI products. So GI is actually geographical
Okay.
indication. Yes. So that like we have GI products, 13 GI products we have. Neramac holds the largest number of GI products in the country. I mean, like we are the PSU having largest number of GIs. Even the state government also may not be having so much. So we are very proud of
Oh
that.
wow, that's
There are products
yeah.
across the region, like Naga cucumber. We have Chakhao, that is a black rice from Manipur. Then uh, Meghalaya, that is called Mamang. I think that is an orange found in Meghalaya. Then we own GI for Queen pineapple of Tripura, Hue pineapple. Then for other example, we are trying now for our elephant apple, Otenga. Then Kajirim we are trying. Then Bhimkol. So Bhujoleka already some government has. So these are called GI. Then here we are trying to showcase GI products and GI commodity and also products out of GI. Like Bhujoleka has GI, and you can make a lot of products out of GI. I mean Bhujoleka, like canisters for girls defense, self defense. You put a small spray and some gunda coming, you can spray on them.
Yeah.
It will make them numb for at least 10 minutes. Then
Yes.
grenades of Bhujolika and so many other things. And now Chakhao, the black, black rice. So many products are made out of black rice now. Black rice noodle, black rice cake, black rice rasagullas I had other day, laddu and things like that. And black rice has property of it has antioxidant. So if
Okay.
you make a blending with red rice and white rice, it is very good for health. Red rice will give you
Okay.
vitamin, beta carotene. Then white rice will give you uh, this carbohydrate, that is energy. So that blending, yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
this
some products. Yes, sir.
yes,
Like that's what.
this photograph.
Um. Yeah. No. Yes, sir. You could tell us about this as well.
Okay. So this is actually from Sikkim, and we are procuring vegetables, organic vegetables from Sikkim. And
Okay.
there is a mission called Mission Organic Value Chain Development for Northern Region.
Okay.
It's a flagship project of the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. And under this, there are four components. One is first is organic certification. We actually keep talking about organic, but organic, just per se saying organic will not make it anything organic.
Yes,
it
sir.
has to be certified. And there are three certificates, C1, C2, C3. So that certification, then supply of inputs and other things is the responsibility of state government. Then there
Okay.
is component B, that is
Hmm.
for processing of the produces. So there we give subsidy, and
Hmm.
there in NEDFi I am handling that. So we give up to 75% subsidy to farmer producer organizations, organic FPOs, then
Hmm.
50% to private entrepreneurs. Then
All right.
component C is marketing, and under that component, NERAMAC has the uh, uh, mandate to market it. So we have one brand called One Organic Northeast. There we have registered. You can see on the left side is ONE1, and
Hmm.
we market. And there is one in Delhi Hat. We have one outlet for selling organic products, organic material, organic produces. And from Sikkim we are procuring. And just to inform you, or you may be knowing also, Sikkim is the first state in the country which has
Hmm.
declared itself as organic. Everything
Yes, sir.
produced in Sikkim is organic. So once the area is declared organic, anything produced there will be organic. Like
Yes.
even the milk there can be considered organic because the cow that grazes some grass is organic. So it's
Hmm.
a chain. So here
Yes.
we are doing and trying to market and give uh, market to the farmers
Hmm.
through our brand One Organic Northeast. We also have another brand called NEFresh that is for naturally grown fruits and vegetables.
All right.
So these are the two brands that we own, and
And
that we have.
sir, yeah, and so products from the Northeast are doing so well. So, like, what is your stand on the current entrepreneurial opportunities in the Northeast? Are we like giving a tough competition to others as well?
See, now all over world, say in Punjab, they have used so much of pesticide and fertilizer, So those land will never, it will be very difficult to convert into organic. And in
Yes.
Northeast, we call it organic by default.
Hmm.
Normally, we don't use much of pesticide or other things, fungicide, uh, then chemicals, fertilizers. Uh, but then So it is very easy to convert them to organic certification because the soil is so good and nearly organic. Only it needs to be certified. We have to test and certify. So Prime Minister Modi ji has been always talking about making Northeast organic. So
Hmm.
that's why this MOVCDNER has project has been launched. It's a 466 crore project. So second phase is ending. So third phase will start soon. And all states are having a state level nodal agency for
Hmm.
this. Like in Assam, director of horticulture is the state level nodal agency. So
Hmm.
see, organic products has a price. It's about 10 times that of normal vegetable that we get in the streets. Then
Exactly.
natural
Yes.
grown is about 3 times.
Hmm.
And last before just before the lockdowns in I think December 20, one Japanese company came and contacted me. So they wanted to
Okay.
procure naturally grown vegetables and fruits and market in Japan. And
From
that's
Assam.
how, yes, from Assam.
Okay. Okay.
And somehow because of lockdown, we lost track. But I think if everything comes to normal again, hopefully if third wave doesn't come, then
Hmm.
we'll restart again. And that way we can fetch about 3 to 4 times price of ordinary vegetables. Because once you grow organic, means its production will be little less because of pests and other things, and quality deterioration a little happens. But there is we can command good price for both natural grown and organic. And yeah, we'll actually all over the world now we have about 750 crore people. And
Yeah.
after COVID, we know that everybody wants to have good food. And we know, like we people in Assam or Northeast, we have very good. immunity because we consume maybe right and very healthy food. And all the Europeans and say in Germany, France, still now third wave is going on, even in Britain,
Hmm.
because they started consuming processed food too much.
Yeah.
Also, maybe their living conditions are very, very hygienic. That's why they have
Hmm.
less resistance. But in our case, I think we go through so much. Maybe we are dealing with virus every day, so many hundreds of them. We have
Hmm.
a natural immunity. And we also consume good food. Like in Assam, I think we consume so many herbs, like
Yeah.
nobody knows about our thekia, our tengamara, and our nepafu, or bhedailata, and I think noltenga
Yeah.
thing
Sure.
from
Sure.
Assam. So these have I think unique properties which gives us, and we also consume a lot of ginger, then masalas like tejpata, black pepper,
Hmm.
then haldi, of course, every day we consume. So that gives
Yeah.
us, I think, a lot of immunity.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, and that helped us fighting, I think, corona, and we were one of the lowest mortality rates in the world, I think, because of
Yeah,
that.
so we also consume a lot of meat here, and that too, I believe, gives us the immunity that we
Yeah,
need, and
yeah,
it
yeah.
is is doing so well in terms of
Fish and
controlling.
meat.
Yeah, exactly. And here we have another picture of yours. We can see you here in both of these pictures. Like, could you tell us about this as well?
Okay, this was last week only. I think
Hmm.
it was last week on Sunday, maybe, or Tuesday. This was
Okay.
in Kaziranga. So we
Hmm.
are actually now this year we are celebrating 75th year of India's independence, and the
Yes.
government of India has launched this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav,
Hmm.
uh, so that we all become proud of our independence and celebrate it every day. And
Hmm.
here actually this is called Geleki Mikirgaon near Kaziranga. That's
Yeah.
a quite backward village, and we wanted to. There is one NGO, Nature First, and they invited us, and with their help, this is their actually building, and we uh, conducted participatory rural appraisal, talk to the people what they would like to actually do, and we wanted to launch one village, one product program there. That is a program that we are uh, launching since last Corona, I mean last lockdown,
Okay.
where one village we tell them to produce one product. So here we told them to produce blue tea, that Aprajita, that flower,
Okay.
and we are. It's very easy to also get the seed. Then it flowers very quickly in I think 1 month. Then
Hmm.
once you dry it, it fetches very high price. It is a very good candidate,
Hmm.
and it costs about I think 30,000 rupees a kilo. But you
Hmm.
require thousands of flowers to make 1 kilo. Because once you
Okay.
dry, it becomes very light. So
Hmm.
there we are telling them to do it, and it was a day-long program. So we also go to villages, far flung. Tomorrow I am going to one village near Guwahati, Chandrapur. It's called Thakurkuchi. They are also
Okay.
going to do the same thing. Yeah, this Azadika Amrut Mahotsav we are taking to the villages, and we are
Hmm.
also going to celebrate in Guwahati. And on
Okay.
27th November up to 27 to I think 3rd December, our
Hmm.
ministry has taken a week, and every ministry will be given a week, and that is our week. So that they also will plan something good in Guwahati,
Hmm.
something on a larger scale, with the help of
Okay.
our sister organization NEDFi, then NEHSDC, and I will
Hmm.
definitely like to invite you there. Yeah.
And so like you have over like 2 decades of experience in so much of work experience in bureaucracy, entrepreneurship. So, according to you, what characteristics do today's youngsters need to have to reach where you are today?
Okay. Firstly, I think you have shown another picture. I have to explain what was that.
Yeah, sure, sir, sure.
Yeah, yeah.
About
So
this
this
one, yes.
was uh, about 15 days back. She's American Consul General from Calcutta.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, she came to NEDFi. We had one exhibition, and
Hmm.
NERAMAC has we have about 75 processed products now under our brand. So we
Okay,
have
wow.
yeah, we showcased her, and we're explaining. And here I
Hmm.
think I'm explaining to her about Bhut Jolokia Achar, and I am telling her about how we are finding military application from Bhut Jolokia. So we have
Yeah.
showcased, and she has very kindly proposed to hold three ethnic cuisine festivals, one in Delhi,
Wow.
one in Calcutta, and one in Guwahati. So,
Okay.
maybe they will fund. So I have already sent a proposal. Let's
Hmm.
see. But then there will be very good if we can, bring in the Americans here, and
Yeah.
they could give a lot of processed food. And
Hmm.
we have so many products here showcased, and uh, she liked it because all
Hmm.
products are unique. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
you
many
should.
people are looking forward to it.
So I'll answer your next question then.
Yeah, yes, sir, sure, sir. Like I was asking you about, you have reached such a top position and you have so much of work experience throughout your career. So, what do you think today's, individual youngsters need to, what characteristic do they need to have to reach where you are today?
Yeah, it's very difficult to actually. Firstly, you have to be a little lucky also, but you got
Yeah.
to have a track record of
Hmm.
doing good and to showcase. Then I think in government of India, although we may nullify, but then honesty plays a very big role. Wherever we apply for a top position, then uh, there should be no vigilance record for last 10
Yeah.
years, no penalty, and you should have a good, excellent
Hmm.
annual, confidential report.
Hmm.
And that record on also they look at different, your experience counts, then
Hmm.
your academic career, how you performed in your studies. So you youngster, I must tell that they have to be very focused whatever they are doing. Like they are
Hmm.
studying, focus. I mean, don't lose sight of focus. I mean, in Assamese it is called uh, Pohai Pohe Rue Pan. I mean, one who teaches
Hmm.
and one who learns, student, and one who is growing pan. They should not think of anything else.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, I never thought that I will be achieving these particular appointments or positions because my first appointment was by President of India. So when the
Okay.
letter came, he said,
Hmm.
President of India is pleased to offer an appointment to the post of director.
Hmm.
So it really gives you a good feeling. Okay,
Hmm.
I'm being appointed by president. Then now my NERAMAC appointment is by cabinet appointment committee of the cabinets, where Home Minister and Prime Minister, I think member committee, and we have 384 central publishing enterprise, and NERAMAC is one of them.
Hmm.
So to be appointed twice to autonomous institution is something one should be very pleased about, or I am proud of. But then you have to perform, not just getting a exalted position or leadership position. You have to
Hmm.
be a good leader, good thinker, plan well, and put right people at the right place. And you
Yeah.
have to spot the talent. And you should know
Hmm.
what are the different functions of a particular organization, then put right people at the right place, monitor them, and bring
Hmm.
in new talent if necessary. Then financial discipline. Uh, one has to be very disciplined himself. Suppose the boss himself is not disciplined, financial and otherwise, then all
Yeah.
juniors will get advantage. So it's a very humongous task to keep one. I mean, very clean also in such type of organization
Hmm.
and today's conditions actually. So one has to be, I mean, honest money and honest other things. And one has to keep his own needs and wants limited. and then you focus and apply your brain, and one has to be very, very innovative. So I cannot really give something in capsule, but one has to
Yeah.
be trying to reach. And we should not try to be vice president, but we should be presidents. I see a lot of people say I'm vice president in a company, but there are very few presidents. But my institute, one should go to the best institute possible. I think,
Yeah.
like my institute, Punjab University, it produced a lot of leaders, and also my engineering college, Morvi, uh, we really work very hard, and my all my friends are in top position. Even in my engineering college, I mean MBA, also we have top leaders like director of some has gone to police service. My best friend, he is now director of
No, that's
National Police Academy, and one of my senior is the CBI director, and
okay.
one of my another senior is the president in Geo. One of my junior is the managing director of Britannia. So it helps, the peer group and all, I think that way. But
Okay.
you should get best education and give your best effort, keep focused, and success will come your way. And one should also keep looking for opportunities.
Okay, those are some really great tips, sir. And since you have also been working for the development of Northeast region so much, so like, what are your plans, or any such advice or plans that you have for the future for the development of the Northeast region?
See, Northeast currently is in a very good time. It's having the best time of, I think, its whole existence. Since 2020, Government of India is earmarking 10% of gross budgetary support for the region. I mean, like we have 18 lakh crore budget, central government budget, and out of that, 10% is reserved for Northeast, and that is about 1.8 lakh crore. And we have only 4 crore people, which is 2 point, I think, 4 crore will be 4, yeah, about 4% of India's population, and we are getting 10%. So we are getting 2.5 times more plant allocation for Northeast, and
Yeah.
that's huge. That's how we are seeing so much of development last 20 years. Like currently about 2.5 lakh crore construction going on. If you
Okay.
visit the North Bank, South Bank, 4 laning going on, rail lines has been compared to broad gauge. Then new airports coming up, like in Holongi, then Rupsi, uh, then bridges across the Brahmaputra. We could never imagine. I know we only two now. Only one bridge came up at Saraihat. Nobody noticed that even. Another bridge coming up in Jeshpur. Then I think Majuli, another bridge will come. Then Dhala Sadia Bridge, Bogibil Bridge. Another one coming up connecting Gohapur to Numligarh. I think it will be underwater. Then 4 lane. So much happening. Airports
Yeah.
coming up. And we are having this trilateral highway connecting Northeast to Singapore through More border. So last month I was in Manipur. I traveled through the like it's 4 laning, hectic, breakneck construction activity going on. So once it is operational, commission, then from Guwahati, Khanapara up to Singapore one can travel, and there will be a
Oh,
lot of trade, commerce, movement of people, goods, and all that. And India has now about $200 billion trade going on with China and ASEAN, and most of it is going through, maybe sea lanes and through air. And once it is commissioned, it will happen through the road. Also, I think Trans-Asian Railway network will come up connecting ASEAN to India through Bangladesh, and it
yeah.
will, and then Imphal Jirimam railway is going to be open soon. Then we have Kaladan Situate Airport, Situate Port, that it's a corridor through Mizoram to give link to Northeast region to Bay of Bengal. Situate Port is
Yeah.
coming up. Then we have waterways treaty coming up, and there is one multi-model logistic hub coming up at Jugigupa. which will be
Hmm.
about 10,000 crore, and this will
Oh wow.
change the face. Oh, yeah, a
Hmm.
lot of things happening actually. Uh, so I'm very optimistic.
Hmm.
And you see, college, engineering college, medical colleges, institutions, universities, so many. When we studied in Cotton College, only Dibrugarh and Guwahati
Hmm.
were there. I think later on, Assam University came up. So, and Assam Agricultural University. Now, you cannot count how many universities there. So,
There are
education,
many.
skill development, everything happening. Our youth are now educated, rightly educated, and they have, I think, captured most of the jobs in Bangalore,
Yeah.
Chennai, Delhi,
Hmm.
Gurgaon, high jobs. So I'm
Hmm.
very proud of them. And youth is because of our uh, new technologies, IT revolution. So we
Hmm.
have been able to uh, skill ourselves in the right direction and get take
Okay.
opportunity. Yeah.
And so we talk.
Sorry.
Yeah, sure, sir, not a problem. So like we were talking about how the development of the Northeast region. So, according to you, like which state of the Northeast is doing exemplary work in agriculture and social work or entrepreneurship?
Oh, exemplary work. Yeah.
Mm.
I think if I rate, number one will be, I mean, best government will be Meghalaya. I think.
Hmm.
I love
Okay.
to work with Meghalaya. I mean, most of our consultancy projects are with Meghalaya. Then
Hmm.
Arunachal also uh, quite good because I find most of the officers of Arunachal, they
Hmm.
are studied outside the region, outside the state. So they
Yeah.
bring a lot of work culture and other, and it is a state very quickly. I mean, I know Arunachal since my childhood, and I am from Dhemaji.
Hmm.
So we know from which state up to what level they have, developed. I
Hmm.
think development of human resource, then infrastructure, I think is unprecedented in the history of any tribes. I think that one can really take proud of Arunachal's, then Nagaland, the way it developed, then
Hmm.
Mizoram is developing, Meghalaya developing,
Yeah.
even Tripura, despite a lot of ethnic conflict and other things, I think they have now settled down. It's on the
Hmm.
path of progress.
Yeah.
Assam, of course, we have, a very long history of industrialization, as I said. Our tea
Hmm.
industry is about 125-year old. Oil industry started in 1891. So 1991, now it is 130 years old oil industry. We are nowhere in
Hmm.
the world. Only thing is the benefit of oil industry is not coming back to Assam state per se. It's a central sector scheme. Then we have the coal. Then we have also one of the largest sources of fresh water in the world, and that
Hmm.
water is not harnessing. That is another thing.
Hmm.
Then we have plantations, other plantations coming up. Like now, another engine of growth is actually STGs, small tea gardens. So
Hmm.
small tea growers or gardens or whatever you call it. And Assam has more than 1.5 lakh small tea growers. And they are another engine of growth coming up. They are really having investable surplus. And
Hmm.
because of this very high flow of central fund, you see now
Hmm.
people are all uh, quite wealthy, I think. I mean, I am actually settled in Delhi. So I
Hmm.
find my friends are more wealthy than us. I mean, I don't know the way they are making money or whatever, but they are wealthy.
Yeah.
Maybe they have a bigger cars, bigger houses,
Hmm.
more money in pocket. We have to count every
Hmm.
day for spending maybe 1 rupee. But
And
so Assam is
yes, sir.
in the. I mean, it may fluctuate, but Assam is in a central stage of Northeast, and it is
Hmm.
always said if Assam sneezes, other states will catch cold. So
Yeah.
Assam Valley, Barak Valley, Brahmaputra Valley. So they
Hmm.
are central states and door to northeast states. So develop Assam will always develop more than other states, and
Hmm.
Other states being, hilly and other things, they have their own challenges. But
Hmm.
I think uh, in near future, everyone will develop in a way because of connectivity improvement, and government is investing hugely.
Hmm. And sir, like since you at the beginning of the session, you were saying how you exported maize, like maize was exported to Bangladesh, and the demand is high. So, like, what is the demand of other products that is produced in the northeast outside of the country?
I think there is demand for everything outside.
Hmm.
I mean, you name it, it is there. Say we have oranges. Oranges
Hmm.
nowadays, do you see good oranges in market? You don't, because most of it
Yeah.
those are plucked in the orchards and sent
Hmm.
to Bangladesh.
Yeah.
Uh, that way, our all our products like Assam lemon,
Hmm.
then our rice varieties, we have very good rice, Joha rice, black rice,
Hmm.
red rice, Baudhan, then Ahu and all these. Because black rice has antioxidant properties. Then red
Hmm.
rice is having beta carotene, that is a source of vitamin. So these will there is market. Only thing is we will have to package it nicely, and but let me tell you, if
Hmm.
others they start demanding or consuming, then we will not get it here to consume. So we
Hmm.
have pineapple here, then our banana. We have at Darangiri near Boku, is the Asia's largest wholesale market of banana. So that
Okay.
banana is sent all over the country. Then pineapple, as I said. Then
Hmm.
uh, pineapple. Then jackfruit. It grows in
Hmm.
high quality, and in future, jackfruit will be another commodity that will have a
Hmm.
huge market outside. Then maize, as I said, is there. Then we have rubber. Then palm oil. That plantation is coming up.
Hmm.
Then we have like jute is there. Then bamboo. Bamboo
Hmm.
is green gold, it is called. So bamboo will have a very big market in construction, handicraft. Then in future, there will be a fiber called bamboo wool that will be used for making clothes, because we cannot have so much of fiber, natural fiber, to clothes. About 9 billion human beings that will be there on Earth by 2050. So these are the, then of course we have other traditional items like turmeric and ginger. We are one of
Hmm.
the large producers of those things. Then medicinal and aromatic plants we have, and we can also go
Hmm.
for essential oil like citronella, lemongrass, and vetiver. Uh,
Hmm.
this can be produced in our fallow land.
Hmm.
And once we started that biodiesel project also sometime back, but somehow because of food security and other things, they got dropped. But there is demand for all this. So I mean, there are so many to name. Yeah.
Hmm.
Then masala,
And
different masala, like
yeah,
black
of course,
pepper.
there's a huge.
We have Tezpatta we
Yeah.
have. Then pipli, piper longam. It is a very high. Then Arunachal, then Sikkim and Meghalaya has a large cardamom. It
Hmm.
about 600 a kilo that we procure and sell. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, so those are major, but then I think more production coming up. Even saffron is being uh, planted in Tawang area, high altitude. So I think we'll
Hmm.
have like, as I said, Aparajita, that blue tea.
Yeah.
Then moringa, moringa is our drumstick, we call sajina. So sajina
Hmm.
is high protein. And new items we have to introduce. Then
Hmm.
sericulture, of course, we have eri muga, then mulberry, seri-
Hmm. And so, like, what is like for which product is the demand from Assam the highest, like outside?
currently,
Yeah,
currently,
currently.
currently, I think turmeric, ginger,
Okay. Hmm.
Then tea, of course, is there always. Is a
Yeah,
main
tea.
for
Cool. Hmm.
so STG, small tea growers, hand roll tea, one can come up,
Hmm.
and bamboo products, bamboo,
Hmm.
bamboo for construction, or bamboo mat, for making ply, bamboo ply.
Hmm.
Earlier we had these timbers that were exported from Assam.
Hmm.
So now the felling has been banned since
Hmm.
1987.
Also, sir, like in your this 2 over 3 decades of experience, like how do tell, or like do you have any advice for budding entrepreneurs or bureaucrats? And how do you tell? Also, tell us like how do you strike a balance between your work and family life? Because you are all you are a very busy person and you have a family too. Like, how do you maintain the balance, and what advice do you have for people?
Yeah, we have actually, now I'm nearing retirement.
Hmm.
So according to our Hindu philosophy, we had brahmacharya up to maybe 25 years as if we should concentrate on studies, make us a skilled, educated, knowledgeable. Then we become uh, employable, become
Hmm.
patra. Like in Sanskrit said, Vidya dadati binang binadati pattatam pattatadvati dhanomanyati dhanat dharmasara sukham. So we have to take the vidya, that is a knowledge or education. Education is not just reading books. So it is
Hmm.
all gamuts of education. Then we equip ourselves, empower ourselves to become candidates for high post, high recognition, or anything, maybe entrepreneurship.
Hmm.
Then we start our gahastha is our family life, or
Hmm.
this phase of life where you are dependent on the society for a good job, or
Hmm.
if you're an entrepreneur, then a market, you depend on the society only. You
Hmm.
cannot sell your products in the jungle. So we are
Hmm. Yeah.
dependent on a social animal.
Hmm.
So that particular phase is called Gahastha. So
Hmm.
that time you have to concentrate on your family, raising family. If you have children, then you have to give them good, best education, best culture, uh, best
You
what
know.
do you say, discipline and other things.
Hmm.
So luckily, that phase, I was in Delhi
Hmm.
and I could give a lot of time to my family. And my wife is a doctor. We both were working, but
Hmm.
despite that, children also develop that way, adapt to. Suppose parents are working, they become more adaptive. So
Hmm.
my daughter, she was the first one born in 91. Then son was born in 97. So my
Hmm.
daughter, we tried to give her the best education. She studied in Delhi Madras International School. Then she studied in St. Stephen's. She also had a small stint in National Institute of Design.
Hmm.
Then she got post graduation in École Polytechnique, France, which
Okay.
is
Wow.
yeah. So now she's a French citizen. She's also a budding astronaut. She's a astronautical engineer.
That's
So
really cool.
this year she was in she was in Forbes India 30 under 30. She
Oh,
was
oh,
Priyanka
that's so
Das.
that's really nice.
Then my son he followed. Then he is now in US doing MS. He did BTech from India, computer
Hmm.
science.
Hmm.
So he's doing Master of Science in Computer Science in State University of New York.
Oh wow.
But
Hmm.
so actually we gave them good education. Also we give them very good exposure.
Hmm.
Wherever we don't save money, wherever we get a chance, we take them. All over India, we have taken them. Then we have taken them to all over the world:
Hmm.
US, China, Europe,
Hmm.
then Southeast Asia. So that way they became very independent.
Hmm.
Canada, and we should give them. We should invest on our children, not build houses. They're just
Hmm.
saying, if you build houses, not your children, then the children will sell the houses you built for them.
Oh, okay. Nice one.
So you have to invest in
Hmm.
children as much as you possible, education and other thing,
Hmm.
and give good what you call sanskar, that culture. So it becomes part of it. If you give them the best school, best, you should see how their companies, who
Hmm.
they are roaming around, whom they are picking up, and what they're doing in their spare time.
Hmm.
At that time, we have to be very, very vigilant. My wife was very vigilant. So when
Hmm.
my daughter used to, I mean, first time maybe she wanted to go with some boys and all. So my
Hmm.
wife also sat on the backside buying one ticket.
Okay. Oh, wow. Good
That's the
parenting there. Yeah.
so parenting, good parenting
Yeah.
is a must for raising good children.
Hmm.
And sometimes the purpose of life, sometimes is getting a good promotion or good pay is the aim of it's not there actually. Aim of life is to produce progeny which is more competitive and successful than us.
Hmm.
If you, if my daughter's first salary is more than my last salary, then I am
Hmm.
successful.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm not.
Hmm. That
So
that those are some really great tips, sir. Like I'm pretty sure a lot of people who are looking forward to you like will learn so much from everything that you have said, and like it's so nice to hear how you have struck a wonderful balance between your family and work life, and you're doing so much for the society as well. That's like you have such a wonderful journey, sir. And people are also writing a biography on you, sir. Isn't that right?
yeah, they wrote a book. Yeah, it's already ready to print actually. Somehow
Okay.
it's
Wow.
getting delayed because of this. They all trying to construct me, my
Hmm.
personality.
Hmm.
Uh, so they all wrote about me. I am not writing. So my
Hmm.
daughter wrote a. Actually, my daughter, she's an artist, space artist. Two of
Okay.
her
Yeah.
paintings are going to the Moon Art Gallery, and
Wow.
because of that, she was selected under Forbes 30 under 30. She is also
Hmm.
an astronomer
Hmm.
of NASA and European Space Agency.
Hmm.
So I told her to draw the cover page of my book. So
Hmm.
she is making some notes and all. I'll show you someday.
Yeah,
Uh,
sure. Sir.
so there is, and another thing is we should try to also not work-life balance, also health, spiritual, and there's a balance.
Hmm.
I mean, uh, we should be de-stressed all the time. I
Yeah.
don't take any stress, although I handle now two organizations. No stress.
Hmm.
I don't carry a stress. I leave all my stress here
Hmm.
and try to be cheerful. And I am the most friendliest boss around. I
Hmm.
mean, I never refuse leave to anyone. I don't shout at anyone.
Hmm.
But the message I give them is I am friendly, but not your friend. That is a message I give to my juniors. I am
Okay.
friendly, not friend.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
So you do your duty. If I don't find, I am also very ruthless sometimes in dealing with people who are not correct. I mean, in my view, or but I check uh, 360 degree. Then, if I take the decision, then I don't change it. If I want
Hmm.
to terminate somebody, I do a lot of thinking. Then once I do pros and cons, okay, fine. That
Hmm.
he or she has to go, and that is good for the organization. So I take the decision, and I take very quick decisions. And there
Hmm.
is no file lying on my table. They are here nowhere.
Hmm.
Either I send it back probably. So that is then another thing. I one has to be very very healthy also, good health.
Hmm.
Some is called deha thakile hai beha. So first
Okay.
you should have a good I mean active. So I think that I owe to my maybe genes and my initial upbringing. Now I'll become little fat, but I'm now trying to control it.
Hmm.
I go to now started going to gym, and Sundays
Hmm.
I play. And another thing I do is I connect with young generation. I normally dominate with young people only. My bhatija, bhajiti, bhagin like that. Even
Hmm.
my some are related grandchildren, so they
Okay.
are related to me. So I
Hmm.
talk to them, and they love my company.
Hmm.
And Sunday I take all of them to, trekking in near Guwahati. So many
Hmm.
get-togethers are there. So I started going there and I bring them. Okay, come, you introduce yourself. So that way group is, and I also do mentoring. While going, we talk their problems and all that. So I think
Hmm.
we also try to connect with the youths. We will also remain young that way, and
Hmm.
there should not be any barrier. That is my approach to life. So
Hmm.
I have also cultural man. So I love watching movies, listening
Hmm.
to music, and I'm also, bathroom singer.
Oh, wow. I would love to hear you sing too someday, sir. Nice.
So
And And
yeah,
so, yes, sir, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, thank you for so much for attending our today's session and, imparting so much knowledge to all of our viewers watching. And what a wonderful journey you have been through. So, like, I would love to read your biography too when it comes out. And thank you again for attending our today's session. It was really an honor to have you on our show, sir. Thank you so much.
thank you very much.
Have a great
Thanks.
evening, sir. Bye.
You too. Bye bye.
Yes.
Manoj Kumar Das is the Managing Director of Northeastern Regional Agricultural Marketing Corporation Limited. Mr. Das completed his graduation in production engineering from Saurashtra University and MBA from Punjab University. He is also concurrently head and Northeastern Development Finance Corporation Limited, a former director of Indian Institute of Entrepreneurship. He is a member of high-level committee on implementation of new education policy, Assam. He is also a part of numerous socio-cultural organizations in Assam. NERAMAC was set up to support farmers or producers of Northeast getting remunerative prices for their produce and thereby bridge the gap between the farmers and market, and also to enhance the agricultural procurement, processing and marketing infrastructure of the Northeastern region of India. Manoj Kumar Das has wide range of experience in top leadership positions, administration, networking, government affairs, governance, entrepreneurship development, etc., to name a few. A hardcore social entrepreneur, he takes pride in the ancient civilization of India and its pluralism, diversity, wisdom, values, and customs.